You are in the beautiful coastal island known as Arrecife de Langosta, or to the locals, Lobster Reef, a wonderful island paradise, home to the Ocean Blue Resort, an up-and-coming resort that is the next hot topic on every adventurer's vacation plan. Stationed along a well-known trading route, merchants stop along this island to enjoy the bountiful catches of fresh lobster and exotic fish, while at the same time relaxing and selling their wares. Huge golden pyramids are the home to most of the nobles in this realm, and yes, there is even a casino. When you think of the word luxury, there is no other place that comes to mind than Lobster Reef. As a cool breeze blows in the open balcony window, a young lad stirs in a large bed with fluffy sheets and a golden bed frame. As he puts his bare feet on the glossy marble floors that glisten the arcane light in the room, he glances at the arcane clock, sitting atop a pristine vanity that is fit for a king. 1:30 a.m. The party will be starting soon. As he stands and scratches his head and goes to the closet adorned with the latest fashion that just dropped last week, he thinks about the recent events. Some of his friends have invited him to a very raunchy party being held on the pier on a big party boat. Your father, however, has forbidden you from going out late at night after your last incident caused a small fire. He explains that it's a bad image on the council that he's a part of, and reminds you that on your 21st birthday, you're going to be going through the process of joining the council, something that you're not too keen on doing anyways. Besides, recently you just met someone, an Aarakocra with golden feathers and wings by the name of Gaerun. Secretly, he is everything you look for in a partner. Strong, silent unless he has something important to say, and wise beyond his years. He was at the party last time, and you know that he'll be there at the current one. You have to see him.
So, what do you plan to do, Tony?
What time would the party start?
Starts in about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. All right. I'm going to... Where am I located?
You were in your suite in your bedroom.
All right. I'm going to go straight to my closet and pick up my finest clothes.
Okay.
But also a little sexy as well. But I still look really, handsome.
Okay. Describe what you are wearing. Are you going with more, what colors, fabrics, things like that?
Probably some very vibrant colors. More vibrant in the shirt, but then some more still slightly vibrant colored, more solid color in the pants. Sort of be the top is hey, I'm here for the party, but the bottom's but I know I'm here for business a little too.
Okay, out of curiosity, are you wearing any scarves? Because you do have a good collection of scarves.
Oh, yes. I'm obviously going to be wearing a scarf. I'm going to be getting my favorite purple one.
Ooh, okay, fun.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to be getting my second favorite, but I'm pretty sure the person that I'm wanting to attract will like it more, my purple and gold one.
Okay, perfect. So there is,
and I have to tune my loot.
Okay, tell you what, for all of this, give me a performance check.
Performance check.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 25.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Great. Yeah. So you do an excellent job of dressing yourself. You know exactly what to wear, and you know exactly how to tune your lute. So no issue there either. So something that also does come to mind as you're getting ready for this evening. You remember, since your father has basically banned you from going to these sorts of events and things like that, you do know that he has employed extra guards in both the main hallways and things of that nature that lead to the main exit out of this palace, and also on the main streets as well. So, how do you want to proceed? Keep in mind that your balcony window is currently open, and it does overlook towards the main harbor, where you do know that party ship is, and it's only 2 stories, so you could theoretically do something there.
I'm assuming that it's a very large building, knowing my father.
It's like a bayside palace, yes.
My balcony looks out to where the water is, or...
No, so to kind of give you a visual, basically the palace overlooks the lower parts of the city. So basically your bedroom balcony overlooks basically a kind of I guess you could say a cliff. And that cliff basically goes and like overlooks some of the lower town districts and also out to the main bay where a lot of the ships and stuff meet.
Do I have an arcane music player? I mean, I assumed I would.
Yeah, you do.
Alright, I'm going to put on music on that.
Okay.
As, like, to cover up my sounds, and then I'm going to gather all of my blankets and stuff and make a makeshift rope out of it.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to go into my closet and go into a box that I keep hidden and pull out one of my nice white and gold, like, masquerade masks.
Ooh.
That only covers, like, the eyes.
Okay. Fun. I love this. Here's what I'm going to have you do. I want you to go ahead and give me a deception roll, and this is going to be basically the base number that this mask is going to give. We're going to use this interesting mechanic.
That is a 21 on deception.
Jesus. Okay. Well, then I guess that is your base roll. It's a really good mask.
Better. I paid a lot of money for it.
All right. So with that the case, so I'm assuming you're going to go ahead and sneak down off the balcony, correct?
Yep. Music playing, making it seem like I'm still in the room.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Give me an athletics check.
This is where I'm going to die. It was so close to that 20, but it rolled a 2.
Okay. Shit. Maybe I will go with an even... We'll go with an even count. So...
could I do instead acrobatics or dex save to try to catch myself?
So here's what I'm going to say. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
It's that 20.
Okay. So here's what happens. You take your blankets and they are all knotted together. You go and heave them over the side of the balcony, and you start descending down. And you get about to like where the kind of like the cliff side of it is, and as you're kind of continuously to rappel down to where the cobblestone is, that kind of meets this jetty that goes over to the main parts of the city, you hear a ripping, and as you look up, to your horror, the sheets rip and tear, and you start falling. Luckily, you are able to grab a like loose, jugged rock. However, it does end up scraping against your side for 2 points of slashing damage, as you have a slight cut on your side. But other than that, you are fine. Luckily.
No. My shirt. God damn it. What do I do?
I'm gonna say that in your kit, knowing your character, you have some thread and stuff, so you're able to sew it back up.
All right.
So with that being the case, you very more carefully make your way down to the main city. Now, you do know that there are guards roaming around that have been employed by your father to basically keep track of who's going in and out, but most importantly, keep track and make sure that you don't go sneaking out. So here's how this is going to work. You can see the ship on the harbor that you are going to be going over to. It's about, I'd say about 1.5 miles away. Not very far at all. However, there are currently... Let's roll and see the numbers. Ooh, okay. So there are currently 6 guards that have been stationed along this path, and here's how this is going to work. I need you to either give me a... of course, you could try and talk your way out of it, if you'd like to, with the deception. But you could also give me a stealth check if you just want to try and sneak past these guards. But you're going to have to do a stealth check for 6 guards, individually.
Ooh. I'd rather try to just go with deception.
Okay.
As I'm better at talking than sneaking or physical activities.
Okay. So here is how this is going to work. You will have to do this for all 6 guards. We can do that. That is fine. Let me take a look here. All right. So you carry on. You're wearing your mask, and You continue on down the cobblestone path. Do you have any like weapons or anything like that on you?
The only thing I really carry with me is my loot and probably a hidden dagger. That's really it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll for the first guard. So you're heading down this cobblestone path. You see the ship off in the distance. As you kind of make your way precariously through there, as you are about to kind of round the corner to one of the main alleyways, a guard does end up kind of just popping out from one other side of the street, and you almost literally run into him from how fastly he kind of rounds the corner, and he sees you, and he says, "Oh shit, I dropped my dice. 1 second, citizen."
It's like, oh, don't worry, I have my own.
All right, he says, "Hello, citizen. It is a little late for you to be out and about, don't you think? Where are you heading to?"
I just sort of signal to my outfit. Is it not obvious? I'm going to the party.
Party, you say? I'm not actually familiar with too many parties that are going around these parts. Let me...
Well, I do have to go through here to get to the party. It's not around.
I see. Can you give me a deception check?
That is a 19.
Okay, he says, well, I suppose so, citizen. I'm not too familiar with everything that's going on with the younger generation, so just be careful out there, please. Carry on. And he walks off.
I just salute him and said, thank you for your service. And I walk off.
Okay, so you make your way down the pier. Now, with that being the case, as you get, I'd say, you're about a half a mile away, and you can see it off in the distance. However, you do see that in order to get over to the pier, there are 2 guards that are stationed, each on side of this main road that goes over to the pier, and it's kind of like a checkpoint. You do see that to the left of this, there is kind of like a cobblestone wall that you could theoretically try and sneak over, but all of the main trails do go through this main checkpoint. What do you want to do?
I would like to... So it's a checkpoint guarding the entrance to the piers to get to the ship, you said, right?
Yes. Basically, it's to keep track of all who's coming in and out of the main city harbor, correct.
How late did you say it was?
It's about almost like 1:40 in the morning.
1:40 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming there's probably torchlights out and about.
There's torchlights dotting, they're kind of like tiki torches, but they're dotting the main trail, yes.
Alright. Could I use prestidigitation to snuff out the torches along the path, just one by one, almost creepy-like?
Sure.
Like just heading towards them. Not me heading towards them, just the lights being snuffed.
Here's what I will do. Give me a performance roll, because I know that's a cantrip. This is how well you do this.
That is also not too good of a roll. That is a 11.
An 11. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say happens with roll 11. So you start snuffing out some of the torches leading up this trail. Kind of just, I'm going to say like one at a time, like just here and there, they just start going out. However, something goes on with your magic closer towards the last one, and instead of it snuffing it out, it actually makes the flame go into a huge burst, and it sets the whole tiki torch on fire, and it starts like a miniature fire in this one area.
As this happens, I just think to myself, maybe this is why Dad said not to go out.
As you're thinking this, you see 2 of the guards kind of like point to that direction, and you hear one of them say, "Hey, Henry, can you go check that out?" And the other one nods, and actually, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and send Jerry with you. And you see him motion to another guard. So 2 of the guards leave their station and start heading over to where this small fire is now burning the trail. There is now only 1 guard there. What do you do?
I'm going to try to walk up to the single guard, not being spotted by the other 2, hopefully, and see how he responds.
Okay.
As I'm walking towards him.
As you get up to this guard, you can tell that their armor is different, signifying that they are more of a higher command. You would know this information just from growing up around the Royal Guards. This one is one of the city guard commanders. They're signified by a cape and these golden insignias on their metal plate mail. And he looks at you and says, "Good evening. Can I assist you in some way?"
Yes, I was asked to play some music at one of the parties going on down at the pier tonight.
I see. Which boat specifically? I mean, we have several boats out here. I mean, it's pretty late for a party, I do reckon.
Yes, I believe it was for more of a private show. But I believe do I remember what boat it was?
Yes, you would know the information. It is the Golden Mosquito.
I hate that name. Like, my character's just in my head. I don't know why they named the ship. It's the Golden Mosquito. Yes, that's an actual ship. I'm not fond of the name either.
Interesting. Well, let me just go ahead and check my ledger and make sure that they are on the dockets. One moment. And you see him walk over back into the tower. The guard tower, and he is going through a pamphlet. And he comes back out after a few minutes, and he says, "Interesting. I don't even see them on the docket. I'm not sure. They must have not registered in. Do you know, if you know the captain's name, I would love to be able to get in contact with these individuals, make sure that they're registered properly with the city."
Huh. That is strange. I'd like to cast Charm Person.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I literally just... interesting. Charm Person!
What do they have to beat? They have
14.
Have a +2. You better hope this is a low roll. Okay, I'm gonna, even though that was not in my dice tray, I'm going to count that. What'd you say that they had to beat?
14.
Okay. They got a 12, so you successfully charmed them, and he says, oh, why, good evening, sir. How can I assist you today?
Well, I am just trying to cast.
Oh.
I'm sure that it is late. Probably not about the captain right now. Maybe check in the morning, make sure they are on the ledger.
Oh, why, of course, anything for you. Please, feel free to go on through. I don't even know why you were stopped at all. Please, carry on, sir, and you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
I start walking away, and then I stop, and then I turn around and look at him. What is your name?
Oh, my name is Jace.
Put in a good word for Jace.
Why, thank you, sir. You have a wonderful evening, as he calls after you. As you start setting off, you see the other two guards start to come back to the station. So as you make your way back through the rest of this area, you reach the ship. And as soon as you get over to the main plank, you can automatically start hearing the festivities of people laughing, and some even, you hear some cursing and things of that nature. You hear people dancing and whooping and hollering. And as you board the ship, you start heading down into the main cabin area of this rather large vessel.
Are there any guards on the ship?
No, there's not.
I take my mask off.
Okay. You go ahead and take off your mask, and you carefully pocket it and put it away. You then head down to the main cargo ship where you know that the main party is being held, and as you go into the ship, you see a large festives of dancing, people singing and talking. You even see some people playing darts and drinking heavily and challenging each other to exotic different board games and things of that nature, or even gambling with some forms of dice. What are you doing?
Would I see any of my friends at all around?
Give me a perception check.
That is a 25.
Okay. As you look around the ship, you don't see the original people that invited you. They may have not got here yet. You do remember them usually getting to most events relatively fashionably late, as they like to call it. But no, you don't see anyone that you recognize until you round the corner over to where everyone is being served alcohol out of these huge giant kegs. And you see, sitting alongside one of the kegs is a golden Aarakocra who has his back turned to you, and he is sitting alongside one of the bars drinking a drink. But you can see that he doesn't seem to really enjoy it, but he seems to just be kind of babying it. What do you do?
You said that I met him before?
Yes, you have. You recognize him.
Alright. I come up behind him. I'm going to pretend to be drunk.
Okay.
And try to pretend to slip and say, "Hey, I'm looking all over for you. Where have you been?"
Before, as soon as you were about to do that, he reflectively immediately sets down his drink, whirls around in one pivot, and grabs your arms, as if he's expecting an attack, and then recognizes that it's you, and then quickly rights himself and kind of dusts you off, and gives you a hug.
Jeez, I'm gonna stop with the big drunk. Just wanted to be a little fun for a second.
He nods at you, and he motions for you to. He actually motions for you to take his drink, and he pushes it towards you.
Thank you.
All right. So he motions for you to take the drink. I'm assuming you take it.
I do. And chug it immediately.
Okay. And he stands up and rights himself. It looks like he's just been kind of waiting there for you. But he motions for you to follow him outside.
I get up. I turn around and sort of tip my imaginary hat to the bartender. Follow him.
Okay. Before you leave, you do have one person in the crowd just "Hey, weren't you that guy who was supposed to sing and dance for us? Were you going to be doing that tonight?"
Oh, possibly, my friends. I have a few businesses that I have to attend to before I...
He checks his watch and he says, "Okay, sure. Yeah, you've got time. I'll see you around." And he goes back to talking with his friends.
I will see you around as well. And I give him the biggest smile that I can. And then I turn around and just
So Garen is waiting for you, and as you follow him, he motions for you to follow him out onto the main deck. As you guys make your way out, he motions for you to kind of join him along the railing of the ship. And this side that he's picked is overlooking the main harbor, where you can see a lot of the main ocean that does kind of recede into this sort of, without lack of better words, because the island is basically shaped like a giant lobster, where the two crab pinchers meet, you see this kind of moonlight. You see basically the moon kind of just dipping above some of the ocean water. And he looks at you and he smiles, and then he points out towards where the bay is. And as soon as he points out, you see a huge display of fire being shot into the sky. And as you watch, you see these rockets start to kind of trail off, and then they start exploding into multi-different colored fireworks. And you see this light just kind of blanket the main harbor. And as as this happens, you feel him put his wings around you, and he leans in for a kiss.
I accept the kiss.
Okay. As you guys kiss under the moonlit sky as these fireworks are going off, give me a perception.
21.
Okay. You hear a door close somewhere behind you, and as you kind of look with one of your eyes out the side of your head, you do see kind of this figure just go in through a door. but you don't notice it close enough to like figure out like what's like going on with that situation. You just kind of chalk it off to maybe someone just entering in late.
As I realize this, I realize what I'm doing and not wearing my mask, and I immediately push him away and grab my mask out and put it on as I'm blushing the whole time.
He looks at you for a few moments, and he looks slightly confused by this action. However, after a while, he just kind of shrugs it off. And then he motions for you to come back downstairs with him.
I tell him, just give me a moment, I'll be down.
He shrugs and he says, "If you need me, I will be back at the main bar. Hopefully I see you soon." And he excuses himself and heads downstairs. And you are now alone up here on the main harbor. What are you doing? I mean, on the main deck. What are you doing?
Are the Arcane Fireworks still on?
Yeah, the fireworks are still going on.
I stare off into them for a few moments, just thinking, like, what if someone's seen me, and just contemplate everything. When I get my composure back, keep my mask on this time, walk downstairs, back down to him.
Okay. As you head downstairs, you don't immediately see Garun. However, you do see several people are kind of expectantly kind of like looking around. And as you walk into the room, they spot you and their eyes light up. And you hear someone say, "Ah, yes, come on. We've been waiting for the entertainment. I heard you were supposed to give us some music, and we've been expectantly waiting. Please join us on the stage." And you have someone come over to you and start leading you towards the stage.
As they're leading to the stage, I say, "Do you need any alcoholic drinks up with me?"
"Oh, of course. Hey, can someone get this man a drink?" And you see like 3 people come up to you and like just put like big, huge like kegs of, not kegs. They give you all the barrels. No, they give you several big mugs of alcohol and they set it up there on the stage. And as you get up on the stage, what are you doing?
I get up, I grab a drink really quick, I check it down, I then pull out my instruments, look out the crowd.
Give me a perception check.
19.
As you kind of look out onto the crowd, you do see Garun. He is sitting on like a plush couch, but he is sitting kind of further away in a more secluded area. But you do notice that he is watching. What do you do?
I pluck the strings really quick, make sure the strings are
Okay, yeah, it sounds in perfect harmony.
look back at the crowd, and
as you look out into the crowd, you see Garun just gives you 2 big, giant, feathery thumbs ups, and you see him sitting there watching you along with everyone else expectantly. And someone from the crowd says, "What's you gonna play there, my good friend?"
I look down at my instrument, I look out at the crowd. I'm gonna play something fun. Something to get everyone's bodies moving. Something for everyone to feel like it's a true party.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and roll performance. I don't know why there's a pause there.
Fair point. Performance. That is... Wow. That's good. 23?
Wow, okay.
That's nice, I'm just saying.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you have told me before that you also do, like, belly dancing and sort of things like that. Out of curiosity, is this a sensual sort of performance?
I start off trying to get everyone into a groove.
Okay.
Then the next song is more slightly slow it down as I'm like trying to tease, and I do have an outer shirt, and that comes off by the song.
Okay. As you are playing this tune, people start to kind of just you see them stop talking and stop doing what they're doing, and they all kind of take their eyes and start turning to the center stage. And as you start this melody and play it, people are hypnotized with your music, and you see them start standing up and start swaying along with the music, and everyone seems to really be enjoying the music. Then you shift tempos towards the later part of the song and shift into something a little bit more slow and a little bit more sensual.
I also use prestidigitation when it applies to the song, where I have different effects like showers, sparks, puffs of wind, some nice smelling odors, changing the color of things, like changing the color.
Like the lighting and stuff?
Yeah, like
okay.
Symbols, so like maybe I just call a symbol like a heart on something or something.
Okay, yeah, people are loving some of these pyrotechnics that you are doing. So you hear someone say, "I've never seen this happen before. This is amazing!" And as you shift the tempo, you see like some people get together with like some of their partners and stuff. And as you start kind of like slowly doing a sensual sort of kind of belly dancing, for lack of better words. People really kind of start getting into like more making out and slow dancing and things of that nature. And as the crowd kind of gets more into themselves, for lack of better words, you excuse yourself from the stage. But at that point, they don't even really seem to notice. And as you make your way down the stage, you see Garen has left his area of where he was sitting.
Hey y'all, Kel here, with a quick ad break to tell you about Anchor. What is Anchor, you may ask? Well, it's only the easiest way to make and upload your own podcast. Let me explain why. Well, for starters, it is free. That's right, Free, free. And with all of us sheltered in and hunkered down, now is the best time to make a podcast. They also have built-in creation tools that let you record and edit the audio straight from your computer or even your phone. You don't even need to download anything. Plus, Anchor will distribute your podcast to places like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more places where podcasts are listened to, letting you focus on your creating. But the best part of this whole thing is that you can make money from your podcast with sponsorships through Anchor that require no minimum listenership. It is huge for everyone just starting out. It is everything you need to make a successful podcast in one central location. Now, if you're ready to take your big idea and share it with the world, then go over to anchor.fm, download the app, or simply click the link in the description to get started today. Well, that's all for me. Happy sailing.
Hey, Kaiser here. Today's episode is made possible by Audible. Now, as most of you know, Audible is the leading provider of audiobooks with over 180,000 books to choose from. Now, I know when I'm on a long drive or stuck in my daily commute, or even just wanting to relax with something to keep my mind off the grind, Audible comes through. And between you and me, I enjoy them because my attention span does not let me sit down to read traditionally, since I have so many things I'm doing during the day. So, if you're wanting to start your free 30-day trial, head on over to audibletrial.com/Dungeon Tales, or follow the link in our description and enjoy a free audiobook on us. That's all for me. Now back to the adventure. But as you round the corner, you do see him, and this time he's kind of just leaning up against the hallway door. And he sees you and his eyes light up, and he motions for you to follow him.
I follow him.
He takes his feathery wing and he puts it around your shoulder. As he leads you, instead of leading you back out to the main deck, he actually leads you around to the sleeping quarters of the ship. And he points to a room and he says, "This is my room. Would you care to join me?"
Yes.
Okay, and as you eagerly say yes, he smiles and kind of laughs to himself, and he follows you to this room. And from here, things do start to get a little bit more intimate. I am going to skip over some of the details. However, I will leave that up to your imagination. However, while you guys are making out and such, I do want you to give me one last perception check, please.
No, it's a nat 1.
Okay. You are entranced by this encounter with Garen. Even though you would probably never say so yourself, you find him completely attractive, completely alluring. And this is basically in your own way, fireworks and the perfect night within your own mind. And out of the corner of your eye, you see what feels like some sort of kind of flashing of some sort of arcane light, or maybe it was just a flicker of a torchlight. However, at this current moment, it just doesn't seem to matter to you. And once you guys are finished, he leads you out and he says, I hope you had a wonderful evening, and hopefully I'll see you around soon. And with that, he smiles at you, and I
go in for a kiss.
He thinks about it for a second, but then he gives you a quick kiss. And he says, until next time. And he goes out to, you see him walk off to the main part of the ship and flap off, leaving you kind of just watching after him. And from there, can you give me another perception check, please? Hopefully a better one.
Yes, this is a 21.
Okay. As you are kind of just watching after him as he flies off into the moonlight, you see out of the corner of your eye someone watching you. You're not exactly sure if they're watching you, but because they're wearing a very long kind of billowy hood. But as soon as you train your kind of focus on them, it seems like they notice this and immediately take off. And you see them exit the ship. And just as soon as you're about to try and take chase, you see them just kind of, you hear like a snapping sound, and they just blink out of existence.
I rub my eyes, like a dream or something. And just wonder.
We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. The next morning arises, and you are groggily awoken by a knock on your bedroom window. But not the window, the door.
How, what kind of?
It's
knock?
It's like a formal knock.
All right.
As you, I'm assuming you get up and answer it.
Very groggy, hungover.
Yes, as you groggily get up and head over to answer the door, you are met by a cheerful servant, all dressed in formal attire. You can tell, you know this servant, he's your butler, Henry, and he says, I've brought you your morning breakfast, sire. Do you have a specific place you would like me to set it?
That's okay.
Ah, wonderful. And he comes in with a tray of food and carrying a pitcher, and he sets it on your bedside table. As he's pouring this relatively big glass of orange juice, he says, I hate to intrude in personal affairs, sire. However, I'm not sure. Have you heard the rumors going around town?
Rumors? What are these rumors about?
Well, about you, sir. Is it true? I've heard that there's quite some sort of scandal going on between you and Arakakra. And also, I mean, I never knew this, but there's talk that you may be gay. And I just wanted to know,
What, me? The ladies love me. They can have any damsel I want. I mean, it should be obvious that I'm straight, you know?
And of course, sire, why I wouldn't doubt it. However, there seems to be some pretty seedy evidence going on around, and I don't understand, quite frankly. I just worry what your father may think, because if the rumors are true, an interspecies homosexual relationship, I don't know if the council would react very kindly. In any case, I've probably said too much. Please forgive me for overstepping any bounds. I don't know. There's so much more drama going on these days. It's hard to keep track of it. Anyway, sir,
Henry?
Yes? As he's heading out the door.
I would like to take a stroll after my breakfast. Can you get my horse ready?
Oh, of course, sire. I will make sure that is prepared for you. Oh, by the way, your father does want to see you in, I think, about an hour or so. He was wanting to request a meeting with you, something about the council I'm assuming things getting ready for your 21st birthday. What shall I tell him?
You can tell him that I will be fashionably late, as always.
Very well, sir. I will let him know. And with that, your servant walks off.
I immediately grab the food and just fucking devour it and start packing my shit.
Okay, let me ask you this. We have talked about your family heirloom. You know that this is a heirloom that has been passed down throughout your family, and it is something that has been displayed in one of the main cases in the Grand Hall. What do you want to do with that situation? The Grand Hall, just to give you a layout, is from your bedroom. It is basically on the main hallway stretch. So theoretically, it is close by your bedroom, but it's just further down the hall. And that hall does kind of just lead over to like another main exit.
All right.
Like, what is the normal ceremony like? On my 21st birthday, right? Like, what exactly is it?
The ceremony is basically an indoctrination to basically prepare you for some of the affairs to get you onto the board of councils for the Ocean Blue Resort. And basically, eventually, you will be joining the board of council members that helps basically dictate everything that goes on within the resort.
Alright. I will definitely try to go with that. Because I will definitely do it on the console. I will pack my stuff, and you said the trident is near my door.
Yes, it's in a display case on the basically outside your door down the hallway. Something as you're just to kind of do some additional narrations here, as you're packing up things and just kind of thinking over these thoughts and trying to figure out what to do, a letter falls out of your coat pocket that you were wearing from the party last night. What do you do?
I stop. Just shock, almost, remembering last night, and slowly pick up the letter.
As you pick up the letter, you can tell that it's been addressed from Gamer. Do you read it?
I just throw the letter on the bed and contemplate what to do.
Okay.
As I continue packing.
You continue packing, and it doesn't take you very long to get packed. You pack, I'm guessing, a couple extra changes of clothes, your lucky scarf, and I'm assuming your dagger and a few other things, some provisions. What do you do now?
After a few moments, I work up the courage to finally open up the letter.
Okay. You tear the wax seal that seals this letter, and you can tell that this letter was crafted with care. You take a look at the contents of the letter and read it. You can tell that there's been several scratched out blotches, like this has been rewrote several times. But it reads as follows.
I sort of, just without
reading the letter, notice the scratching out and blush at how hard he tried.
Here's what it reads. I'm not going to read this in his voice, but this is what it reads. It says, Dear Tony, I want to thank you for an amazing night under the stars and fireworks. My heart still flutters thinking about it. It's been a long time since I've felt this way about another male. Usually, I'm not this forthright. However, I have to let you know how I feel, as you seem like the type to keep it pushing, as they say. While I know we have only known each other for a short time, I must confess that I think very fondly of you. And you see like 6 scratch outs here, and finally, would be interested in pursuing you as my mate. I pray that you may feel the same way as me one day. And if so, please meet me under the golden flower tree on the cliff overlooking the bay that we met on that one night long ago. I'll have an arcane rune there, so I'll know when you're there. Until then, may your heart and mine beat to the same drum. Yours truly, Garan. What do you do?
I start to cry as I then gather a piece of parchment and pen and start writing a letter back to him.
Okay. Are you sending that or not?
I am going to send it to that location.
Okay.
It's just like a regular wax seal on it, my family crest.
Okay. Do you... I suppose we would disclose that later then. You have some cinder pigeons that are just kind of on standby. I take it you send one of those out? Okay. So you do so, and you send the pigeon away. What do you do in regards to this situation? You know that they're expecting you here for this meeting relatively soon. It is probably about the time that your horse has been prepared.
If I were to lower my stuff from my balcony, I'd be able to put it all on my horse. Would I be able to get my horse down near all my stuff?
Oh yeah, everything goes to basically the way that this walkway works is this is just kind of like a little underneath of your balcony is basically kind of like a grassy patch with just flowers and stuff, but the trail does walk right past that, and you know that the trail does go over to the main docks where your father's ship and one of your own personal smaller vessels are, or when you and your father go sailing during the summers.
I'm going to lower my bag of stuff down from my balcony to the side of the road, so I'm just walking around the castle with a bag of stuff, so it doesn't look like I'm just leaving.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, you go ahead and do that with no problem at all. You've done that many times before. All right. So what do you do now?
I will quickly get some clothes on before going out to the ship. Almost like what people would see as casual wear, almost.
Okay.
So it's sort of fancy looking, but still common wear, but won't get damaged if it gets wet.
Okay, no problem. So you go ahead and do that. You get dressed in your clothes. Now what?
I leave my room and just walk over to the Trident.
So, as you get close to this Trident, you are reminded of just basically the stories that your family has told about this Trident. You know that it's been in your family for generations, and the lore around it is that basically long ago, one of your great-grandfathers made a deal with a mermaid and some of the other merfolk, basically to set up treaties within the surrounding areas. And basically, the treaty was struck, and they promised fair seas around this resort. In exchange, they gave you the trident, gave your family lineage the trident as a sign of good faith. So what do you do?
Is it locked, I'm assuming?
It's just got just a simple lock on it.
Alright, I'll try to pop the lock.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
6.
Okay. You go to pop the lock, and just as you're about to kind of unlock it, your finger slips. You're able to get the lock off and open the display case. However, unfortunately, with that little bit of a slip, it does hit a sensor inside of this lock, and you now hear an arcane alarm going off. What do you do?
I quickly grab the trident and then sprint back into my room.
Okay. What do you do now? You go into your room. I'm assuming you lock the door?
Yes.
Okay, you go into your room, slam the door shut, and lock it, as you hear guards coming from somewhere within the main chambers, and you say, I don't know what that alarm is. Someone go check that out. What are you doing?
I'm going to hop down the balcony and then grab my stuff.
Okay. Are you going to use the sheet approach?
Yes. I'm going to double check the knots are tight, so that I actually get stronger linens instead.
Okay, yeah, you use some of your more winter linens. And again, retie basically a rope out of your linens and hurl it over the balcony. Just as you hear some of the guards say, "Oh no, this is horrible! The family trident is missing." Hey, someone sound the alarm! We've got some sort of thief around here! And now you're starting to hear some more major alarms going off within the castle. What do you do?
As it gets to the bottom, I take the bottom linen off of the rope and wrap the trident and shove it in the bed. And I whistle for my horse down the path.
Okay, yeah, your horse comes galloping to you. It at this point knows you, and rides up next to you. What do you do?
Hop on it and start riding as fast as I can to my ship.
Okay, as you make your way down to the path, you see a familiar face. You see the guard that you had charmed from the previous night before at the main checkpoint. And you know that in order to basically go in and out of this area, that guard has to check you in. However, you also know how Charm Person works.
And he's probably not too happy.
He would definitely know at this point that you have charmed him. However, now that you are on horseback, you do know that if you were to if you were able to do it correctly, you could have your horse jump over the wall.
Well, I also don't have a mask on.
Right. What do? 5, 4, you are galloping towards it. 3...
I'm gonna try to trample it with my horse.
Okay, he's in a guard station. That wouldn't really work.
Oh, then, yeah, the wall.
Okay. Alright, so as you start galloping towards this embankment, you see some of the guards basically snap to attention, and they're like, Hey, stop! And as they're shouting this, you just start heading towards the wall. Give me an athletics check, please. With advantage, since you're on horseback.
That is a 12? No, 13.
Okay, I was gonna say. Alright, with a 13, you're a little late on the jump, but the horse jumps over, just barely grazing the wall. And as basically you cross the other side, you see your ship that has been kind of anchored to the harbor. But you also do see some of the guards are now gathering some of their weapons and say, Hey, someone stop him! And you see some of them are now racing down the beach side. What do you do?
As I'm getting close to my ship, I'm going to fire fireballs at the tie down to try to burn it off just the rope.
Okay.
Break it from being tied to the dock.
Okay, yeah.
I'm getting closer to it. 18.
Okay, yeah, you, it's a small rope that is tied to this. However, you effortlessly cast Fireball and burn it. So now the ship has been dismounted from the dock. And the plank is down. Do you take your horse on there or leave your horse at the main bay?
I'm gonna leave my horse.
Okay, as you dismount from your horse, you can see that some of the guards are starting to close in on you. However, they haven't made it to the pier yet. What do you do?
I turn my horse around and smack it on the ass and say, go get him.
Okay.
Run onto my boat. Sort of like to find time.
Okay, so the horse kind of neighs in protest, but then it starts charging towards these couple of guards. They are able to kind of both dive out of the way relatively effortlessly, and very effortlessly get back to their feet and again start coming towards you. It only bought you like a couple of seconds. What are you doing?
Getting on the ship and just completely getting rid of the plank and lowering the sails as fast as fucking possible.
Okay. You do all of this. Give me a performance check.
25.
Okay, you effortlessly, as with years of experience, lower the sails. You quickly raise the anchor, and you again just kick the arcane engines into throttle, and you start pushing out towards the main sea. You see the last thing that you hear from the guards and say, wasn't that the councilman's kid? Yeah, I think so. We should probably report this. And you see that they start kind of making their way back over to the main kingdom. But at this point, you are blasting your way over to the main ocean on your vessel, the New Adventure. And as you take off, the previous nights come back to your mind. Your thoughts on this letter and everything of that nature. And as you're kind of out, now out at sea, you kind of just think to yourself what your next move is from here. And some time passes. Several days, in fact. You're out at sea, and you're not exactly sure where you're heading to. You really haven't even bothered checking maps. At this point, you're just sailing to sail, to try and just kind of clear your mind. However, a storm starts rolling in. Now, you're familiar with most storms. However, this one seems different. You see purple lightning shooting from the clouds. You see some of the water, and the water starts to turn this eerie black. And as you're manning the sails and trying to combat this storm, you see a vortex start to open up. And you have never seen a vortex of this sort of color before. It's not black or kind of murky like you would normally see. However, it seems like there's this sort of arcane, bright light in the middle of it. As you try and kind of combat the ship to steer away from this vortex, give me a... I'll just do performance. Let's just do performance. Unless I'm seeing... Yeah, let's go with performance, but roll at advantage.
At advantage.
Yeah, because you have vehicle handling.
That's a 24.
Alright, so here's what happens. You are, as you're trying to kind of combat this this storm, you're able to start pulling away from this. You're sure to be able to pull away from this vortex. However, simultaneously, a big giant purple lightning bolt strikes down out of the sky and hits your sail, effectively breaking it off at the mast. As the sail starts crashing into the ocean, this basically starts putting your ship into a spin, because now your arcane engines are going forward, and also there's nothing to direct your direction. And this spin starts to push more towards this vortex, and as you are being pushed into it, the entire ship does a lurch and sends you flying off of the ship and into the vortex. That's the last thing that you remember. You wake up, and this time you wake up and it's like you're in this completely different world. The sun is at more of a twilight sort of feel, and as you look up, you are in the arms of a water elemental, and he's pulling you out of the sea. And that's where we'll end, or should I say, begin our adventure. Hey guys, Kaiser Stardust here. I wanted to take the time to thank all of you for listening to our episodes and our podcast, and also bearing with us as we had a bit of a break between uploads. We had a few technical issues that did cause us to be a little bit behind on our uploads for that last bit of the backstories of our main characters. Now, I do want to thank you again for everything that you guys currently do. As of right now, we are trying to work on updating a few things and also have a lot of editing pending upload. So, the good news is that we have a lot more content in store for you coming out soon, and a lot of our episodes are currently just awaiting on a few little things. Also, if you're in a generous mood, please feel free to donate to our show or to the DM at ko-fi.com/Kaiser Stardust. We currently have a couple of stretch goals on there, and we're trying to upgrade some of our equipment and things of that nature. Because we all understand it sounds subpar, and we're aware we're trying to make it better. Anyways, other than that, I've got a couple of mentions. Number 1, Luna Ruffles is our contest winner for helping us with the name change. And also, Ray at Sean Spring on Twitter for our artwork. Anchor.fm for hosting our podcast, and also for our music we have to thank PurplePlanet.com, DarianCurtisMusic.com, TabletopAudio.com, Zapsplat.com, and lastly, TechnoAxe for letting us use the song Lowly Tavern Barn, and you can find them on YouTube. And guys, most of all, thank you for listening to our show and continuing to support us as you do. We really appreciate every one of our listeners. Just know that we are completely audience supported, so every little bit helps. Lastly, please feel free to follow us on Twitter at Dungeon Tales or the DM at Kaisa Stardust for any more updates regarding the show, or if you just want to follow us to see what we're doing. That's cool too. I won't take up any more of your time, so lastly, just stay safe out there, and we'll see you very soon. Bye!